Hey guys, it's Allison. Welcome to How Long Till Bedtime. I'm so glad that you're here. Before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to thank all of you who took the time to complete our listener survey. I have loved seeing your responses, and since the summer was so busy, the reality is we are just now diving in to all of the feedback. I took a quick look at the results this morning as we're starting to get them organized, and a couple things jumped out, and I wanted to share them with you. Most of you are multitasking while you listen to the podcast, and of course, that doesn't surprise me. But I loved learning that the majority of you, at least the majority who filled out the survey, are listening while you're driving or commuting to and from work. So, a special shout out today to all of you who have invited me along on your car rides or on your commutes. I also noticed that you all listen to a lot of podcasts that I have never listened to. Many I've never even heard of, and I consider myself an avid podcast listener. So, we will be compiling a list, and I cannot wait to check some of these out. Now, I do have a favor to ask you all. 20% of you said you're not subscribed to the podcast, and 14% of you said you're not sure if you are or aren't subscribed to the podcast. Subscribing to the podcast is one of the most helpful things you can do to support this show and any other shows that you like and appreciate. And it ensures that you will easily be able to find new episodes. So all you need to do is tap that subscribe button wherever you are listening right now and make it official. Thanks in advance. Okay, more on the survey results in the future, but thanks again for taking the time to share a little bit about yourselves. Now, on to today's episode. If you've been stressing out about keeping your baby on the perfect wake window schedule, this episode might just set you free. You've probably seen wake window sleep charts plastered across Instagram, on Facebook groups, or recommended by other sleep consultants or coaches. They are everywhere. But here's the thing, wake windows are not evidence-based. And in today's episode, I'm going to explain what that means, where wake windows came from, and most importantly, what you can focus on instead to help your baby get the sleep they need. Hi, I'm Allison Egidi, a pediatric sleep and wellness coach and a mom of two. I love to help parents find solutions. This is How Long Till Bedtime. In the event you aren't familiar with wake windows, let me start with a quick explanation. Wake windows are the popular idea that babies should be awake for a set number of minutes or hours before they sleep again. You'll see charts that map things out, like a 1-month-old should only be awake 35 to 60 minutes between naps, or a 3-month-old should be awake somewhere between 60 and 90 minutes between naps or sleep periods. A 6-month-old maybe should be awake for 2 to 3 hours. A 12-month-old for 3 to 4 hours between naps. And often within these ranges, there are specific recommendations on the wake window between each nap. So the wake window between nap 1 and nap 2, nap 2 and nap 3, nap 3 and bedtime. They vary, and sometimes they're very specific based on the age. Sounds neat and tidy, right? But babies are not always neat and tidy. They're unique individuals who are developing a more mature circadian rhythm. So let's back up. Where did wake windows come from? Wake windows did not come out of peer-reviewed research studies. As far as I can tell, they came from well meaning sleep consultants and parenting educators trying to give parents something simple to follow. The problem? These numbers were never validated in scientific research. They're averages, anecdotes, and guesses that spread quickly thanks to good old social media. When parents read these charts, they often assume this must be the rule, the best way to approach sleep. But the reality is, there's no study that says a 7-month-old who stays awake for 2 hours and 30 minutes between their first and second nap will sleep well, while a 7-month-old who only stays awake for 2 hours will have a short nap. That evidence doesn't exist. Now, you and I both know families who used wake windows and found that it worked beautifully. Maybe it even worked beautifully for one of your own children. But you also probably know a baby, or maybe you're parenting one right now, who simply won't lengthen naps despite best efforts to follow the wake window charts. Here's the thing. I am not saying that wake windows can't work. For some babies, they do. And if that is the case for you, that's awesome. If it ain't broke, we don't need to fix it. But for other babies, trying to follow wake windows can be a nightmare. So why is that? In my experience, wake windows often work best for babies who are more naturally inclined to sleep, what I like to call babies with more natural sleep talent. If you want to dig a little deeper into the natural sleep talent concept, be sure to go back and listen to episode 99. These are the babies who naturally lengthen naps. They fall into a fairly predictable schedule and are able to fairly easily meet their daily sleep needs. But the reason these babies thrive likely isn't because wake windows are magic. It's because they end up on something much closer to a consistent schedule. And this is where the science comes in. What research consistently shows us is that children's circadian rhythms, the internal body clock that helps regulate when we feel awake and when we feel tired, thrive on consistency. When bedtimes, wake up times, and nap times happen at predictable times each day, your child's body learns to anticipate sleep during those windows. Their body temperature, melatonin release, and alertness levels adjust to that consistent pattern. Over time, this makes falling asleep and staying asleep so much smoother. It makes it easier for them to connect those sleep cycles. Think about it like jet lag. As adults, when we fly across time zones, our circadian rhythm gets thrown off and we feel groggy, cranky, and out of sync. That's exactly how kids feel when their sleep timing and their nap lengths are constantly shifting. And this isn't just theory. Multiple studies show that children with consistent sleep schedules not only fall asleep more easily, but also experience better quality sleep, improved mood, stronger focus, and even better learning outcomes as they get older. So instead of stressing about whether your baby's wake window should be 2 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes, you may see better results by anchoring your day with predictable nap start times and bedtimes. Consistency strengthens circadian rhythms, and strong circadian rhythms are the true foundation of healthy, consistent sleep. So let me give you a practical example. Imagine a 6-month-old who wakes for the day sometime between 6 and 7 a.m. If you're following wake windows, the first nap might fall anywhere between 8 and 9:15 a.m. And if that nap is short, the rest of the day becomes a juggling act. Suddenly, you're adding a fourth nap, you're pushing bedtime later, and spending your whole day rearranging like it's a never ending game of Tetris. You're stressed, your baby's sleep is all over the place, and it's nearly impossible to plan anything. Now, compare that to a schedule based approach. No matter what time your baby wakes up in the morning, nap one, let's say, is always between 8:45 and 9. And nap two is around 2:15, 2:30, not dependent on how long nap one was. And a short cat nap starts between 4:15 and 4:30. So even if nap lengths vary a bit day to day, the anchor start times stay the same. And then hopefully before long, your baby's body learns to anticipate sleep at these times, and the whole rhythm feels calmer, easier, and much more sustainable. So, can wake windows be a helpful guideline in those early months before a baby's circadian rhythm has matured? Sure. But are they evidence-based? No. And once your baby is past that newborn stage, around 18 to 20 weeks, clinging to wake windows can actually make sleep harder, especially if you have a more sensitive sleeper who maybe doesn't have as much natural sleep talent. If wake windows aren't working for your family, remember, your baby isn't broken. The chart is. What truly supports healthy, consistent sleep is a set daily rhythm with predictable nap and bedtime anchors. That's what builds a strong circadian rhythm, and that's what the research supports. And here's the final piece. Every child's optimal schedule is going to be unique. Even in my own family, if I rewind to back when my girls were on 3, 2, or 1 nap a day, their schedules varied by about 30 minutes between the two of them. So it's about finding your child's rhythm or each of your children's rhythm, not forcing a generic chart or even a generic schedule on to your baby. If you're struggling to figure out your child's schedule, this is exactly the kind of work that we do in our one-on-one consultations. So you can always learn more at sleepandwellnesscoach.com. As always, thanks for listening. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who's been struggling with using the wake window approach. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, bye for now. Thank you for listening to How Long Till Bedtime. To learn how we can work together to improve your child's sleep, please visit sleepandwellnesscoach.com.